stuck behind enemy lines as their comrades valiantly defend Fort Lakefront against a strange and powerful new Vishnahari weapon called a Flesh Reaver. Our heroes embark on a covert operation to cause havoc in the enemy camp by destroying their artillery batteries. After navigating the enemy trenches, they run into a member of the Spellbreakers named Alvissa Almara and a halfling named Namor with a long list of accomplishments who aid them in their mission. As the crew detonates explosive charges that set the enemy spell cannons in flame, their distraction sends a surge of their comrades advancing over the swamp in an apparent counterattack, but their victory is cut short by the summoning of more Flesh Reavers to the battlefield. Tired, surrounded, and victory in doubt, our heroes look to the horizon in time to see a regiment of horse-mounted soldiers cresting the hill, but will they be friend or foe? Hello and welcome back to another episode of A Little Light Adventuring. It is that time once again, and we are excited for you to join us for another episode of our tale. I'm your Dungeon Master Daniel, and I'm of course joined by our reluctant soldiers, Travis, Tyler, and Mark. Say hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey.
All right. Well, welcome back. I don't have too much in the way of news for today. You will notice that we've got a little bit different look for our session this evening. This is something new. We're trying to move over to Foundry as our virtual tabletop of choice. So this will be our first session kind of running in this new setup, and hopefully we'll see some performance improvements and some good stuff from that. Other than that, let me just give another plug to the Little Light Adventuring Discord channel. Again, we love to have you join us. So if you like what we're doing, just click the description down in the comment section below. And also, roll a critical hit on that like and subscribe button, as well as ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. But all that said, I am ready to get back in. We had a little bit of a break last week, but we are catching back up to our recording. So everybody ready to dive back into our session this evening?
Start.
All
Do
right.
it.
All right, so as your comrades sally forth from Fort Lakefront, pursuing the retreating Vishnahari soldiers, you're encouraged by the thought that you are able to deal the enemy forces a decisive blow. However, that encouragement is short-lived as you once again notice that eerie green fog that you saw before seems to seep from the ground, somehow thicker than it was the last time you saw it. Once more, the zombified creatures from before begin to form and rise from the swamp, stitching together and forming together from the fallen bodies on the battlefield. You watch stunned and exposed as hundreds of these creatures begin to rise out of the swamp, and they let loose this thunderous roar and begin to charge across the battlefield. It's a very discouraging sight, and as these creatures advance across the battlefield, they seem to re-encourage the Vishnahari soldiers to renew their attack. All hope seems lost. Several of your allies, they start to break. You start to see them falter. Others stand firm and await this monstrous death that's bearing down on them. The shouts and sounds of battle begin again, but as you stand there, feeling numb from exhaustion and your morale kind of faltering as you see this horde of enemies advancing over the battlefield, all of a sudden, someone shouts over the chaos, "Look!" So you glance across the swamp just in time, just as the first light of morning begins to crest over the horizon. And as you look, you see this company of horse-mounted soldiers just cresting over a hill. And at its head, one sits taller and more imposing than the rest. As you watch, the rider at the head of the column slashes his sword forward in a cutting motion and begins to charge. He's joined by others of his company, the sound of the horse's hooves becoming like rumbling thunder as rifle shots begin to ring out. Flashes of blue light, white light just fill your vision as before you the first wave of flesh reavers begin to be cut down. And from nearby, you hear Alvissa, the spellbreaker that's been helping you. She says, "It's Brigadier Tangrel and the spellbreakers. You three and Namor, try and keep the regular soldiers off our backs. I'll try and take care of as many of those flesh reavers as I can." And with that, she kneels, brings up her rifle, and begins to fire. Meanwhile, Namor has already brought up the dreaded Skull Smasher of Helfenheim, his weapon of choice. And he says, "You heard the girl. I bet you I can get 20 easy before you even get started. Come on, just try and keep up." And with a mighty battle cry, he surges forward into the fray. Alright, so we haven't started out a session with combat yet, but that is what we are going to do today. So go ahead and roll for initiative.
I think I'll stay behind that halfling.
Well, I'll be going last.
I rolled a natural 20.
Nice.
A bit
I
big
wish I
8.
would have kept that for something else.
Hey, it's important to go first.
Gives me a 23.
Oh boy.
What do you got?
8.
Alright.
Big
And what
eight.
was yours, Delphinium?
5.
5? Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, so you should be seeing the battlefield map up for you now. And Zephno, you are going to be up first with your natural 20.
Okay. Let me look around here. So we've got these 3 near us and 2 further back.
A little bit, yep.
What? All these guys are just attacking us, like.
Yeah, they are regular
Just running
Vishnahari
up the
soldiers just rushing across the battlefield. And you see other comrades around you fighting as well, kind of carrying on their own battles. These aren't the only soldiers out there on the battlefield, but they are the ones that seem to be interested in you in particular.
All right, then I'm gonna go and approach. I'm gonna run down to the one on the bottom one down there, kind of across from the tiefling.
All right. So you advance across the battlefield there and are ready to meet the foe.
All right, and I'm just going to shoot with a ha-ha. And 16.
All right, a 16 will hit.
18. I sure assume that hits too then. Hey, let's see. Uh, 10 damage.
All right. So you get in a pretty strong blow there on one of the enemies. And he takes a step back. He's looking pretty hurt. But he's not down yet. And in response, he is going to take a swipe at you.
Bring it on.
And he is going to hit you for 5 damage. Alright, and as all that's kind of going on, Namor, he is also running across the battlefield as well. he's going to take a swing at the first enemy that he sees and strike a pretty hearty blow as well. Alright, and as he advances into battle, a couple of these other soldiers are going to advance as well. One of them taking a swing at Benedict. And he's going to hit with a 22, isn't he, Benedict?
Yeah, he's got me.
For 3 damage.
Ew.
Meanwhile, the battle wizard, also kind of in the center of the battlefield right there, he's also going to take an attack on Neymar. And as you watch, a small green stone just forms out of the air, and he shoots it across the battlefield and just kind of catches Neymar in the shoulder, and he grunts, taking the damage from that. Then also this other enemy here takes a swing at Neymar. And hits as well. So it seems like Neymar is drawing most of the attention here for at least the moment. And as the last kind of vicious
Neymar, he's
warrior
our
steps
man.
up, he takes a swing but misses. And the last one that acts here is this one at the back. And he's going to bring out a bow and take a shot at Zephno. But he's
No,
going
you
to
should
miss
definitely
horribly.
shoot at Neymar.
He's going to miss horribly, so no harm, no foul. There's Zephno. Alright, Benedict, you are up. You have one directly in front of you.
Don't like him.
Well, you know how to handle that.
That's fair. All right, I'm actually going to try to Benedict to level his gauntlet at him and try to telekinetic shove the guy back. So that's a strength DC 15.
Use your mind powers. Yeah.
Alright, he is going to fail that.
All right, cool. So I'll just knock him straight back away from me.
5 feet.
Yep.
Alright.
And then we will run over here next to Zephno.
One down. Battlefield. Nice.
And I'm gonna firebolt that archer.
Alright. Right back there.
So 10.
Alright, not quite enough. So your firebolt just whizzes over his head and he ducks out of the way, just narrowly missing him. Delphi, you are up.
Delphi is gonna cast Bless on Zephno, Benedict, and Neymar.
Alright.
Bless you.
Zoom type.
So they all get to add a D4 to every attack roll and saving throw.
Excellent.
Type it.
Alright.
Feel like I can't miss.
And Zephno, we're back to you.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can finish this guy. Will an 13 hit?
It will.
Sweet. And what about? No, that's probably not a 10.
Or attack. No, only the 13 will hit.
Actually, let me add my dice 4. Ooh. That gives me 12.
That will actually hit, though.
So,
Yeah, the 12 will hit.
I'll hit. Hey. Alright, then we're going with 4 damage there.
All right, well, it is enough. You give him a few more stabs, and that is just enough to wipe him out. So he gives a groan and falls to the ground. And while you are in battle, Benedict, go ahead and give me a dexterity save.
Add D4.
21.
All right. So you,
Oh,
out of the
23.
corner of your eye, you see what was it?
23.
Okay, even better. So out of the corner of your eye, you see this body just come sailing past you to your left there, and he goes, "Ah!" Apparently thrown by one of the flesh reavers, and you just happen to dodge just enough to not be hit by this flailing body as it goes sailing past. And Alvissa, she takes a pop shot at this zombified monster, and it catches him square in the chest, and he begins to topple over, the magic seemingly disappearing from his body. While that's all going on, Neymar is over here busy
Really got to get one of those.
with his companions. All the people that are around him.
Nice of you to join us, Benedict.
Just doing what I can.
Alright, and he takes out the dreaded Skull Smasher of Helfenheim, and true to its name, it just demolishes the soldier in front of him. And he is left standing there with one other Vishnahari warrior. Alright.
Benedict, you got a hammer like that? Anywhere in any of the armor and your tech stuff, gadgety things there?
Well, it is a very special hammer. Very special.
Not much for protruding nails myself.
Alright. And as he eliminates one of the soldiers, again, this other guy down here beside him, he's going to take another whack at him with his longsword and just catch another gash on Neymar's arm. He doesn't seem too hurt, though. He seems like he's doing alright. Meanwhile, our wizard friend down here is going to cast a Scorching Ray, and you see him begin to move his hands, fire collecting in his hands, and these Scorching Rays shoot out at all three of you, Zephno, Benedict, and Delphi. And Delphi, 11 doesn't hit you, right?
Nope.
Alright. But for the rest of you,
Zephno
Zephno and Benedict...
I'm actually behind Benedict there.
Yeah, not quite. He's still got the view on you. So as he casts this spell, these flaming bolts just shoot out and hit both of you for 7 damage.
Ow.
Ha ha ha!
All right. And last but not least, the archer back here.
The smell of burnt hair.
And he's going to take another shot at Zephno, but again, just misses. He is not on point with his archery today. All right, Benedict, you are up.
All right, I'm gonna charge this this caster, I guess, because he's pain.
Yeah, he's getting some damage, dishing out the blows.
Tackle him.
And my might at this point.
Use your rocket boots.
We're gonna stick with the same combo here, I guess. I'm going to run over to him, and then I will telekinetic shove the same one I did before, trying to yank it towards me this time.
All right.
So DC 15.
Yeah, he's been stumbling around back there. He hasn't quite recovered. And again, he fails. So you're going to drag him towards you?
Yep. Just keeping him as far away from Delphi as I can, basically.
I'm sure she
And then
appreciates that.
And then I will firebolt
Yes.
the wizard. Let's see if I can actually roll something worth having this time. 22.
That's a good one. That'll do it.
So then we will do. That's what I thought. So we'll do 6 points of fire damage.
All right.
Ooh.
So you get a pretty
felt the
good
heat.
hit there. And Delphi, we are to you.
Delphi is going to cast Toll the Dead at this one that's here.
The one I pulled.
All right.
The one that Benedict pulled.
Bring out the dead.
Toll the
Bring out
Dead.
dead.
So it's a Wiz 12 save.
Yeah, Delphi.
And he is not very wise.
Okay. So, let me find my D12 here.
Now, dig it out. Rarely get to use the little D12.
Oh,
12.
that's 12 points.
Ooh.
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 Yeah, that's a
You
good
rolled a
one.
12 on a
Rolled a
D12.
12 on a D12.
Nice. Yeah, so you're gonna just
Going big tonight.
your toll is going to toll him very well, and he is going
Big
to
numbers.
drop. Let's see.
Another one bites the dust.
Yep. So yeah, you hit him pretty hard with that spell, and he is out of commission. All right, and Zephno, you are back up at the top. And you still have one that's down here
Well-
firing at you the last couple times.
Yes. How badly? I guess the halfling Neymar can take care of that one up there. I'll go down. If you'll move me down towards the guy down there, Dict. I'll go down there and attack him. No sneak attacks this round. We still got bless, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Not that I remember to roll it this time.
And
I started to prompt you, but figured you rolled well enough without it, so.
15 and 12, those hit.
Yes, both of those will hit.
Oh. Alright, let me make sure I'm getting the right dice. Roll a dice 12 too. I'd like to do that like Delphi.
I
Should
don't
be a
think
rogue,
rogues
right?
usually come equipped with the D12.
It's gonna be a rogue with a great axe, right?
Everything D12. So 10. I'm really good at the night damage.
10 damage? All right. So
Joe,
yeah,
you
you're getting a pretty good
You
pretty good attack there, and he is not looking too hot. Not looking hot at all.
Stay down
But
here
he's
and
still
shoot
on
at me,
his-
huh?
Still on his feet.
Today.
All right. Meanwhile, Neymar up top is going to take another swing.
Neymar, like, hit that one down at the one I'm fighting and knock
Ooh,
mine.
but he is not going to hit. Not going to hit this time. He gives a cry of frustration, but not today. Meanwhile, the guy that's directly in front of
Guess he
you,
didn't spell
he sticks
records.
out his hand in front of him, and from out of his hand, there's just this spray of greenish fog that shoots out from his palm. And you are going to take 2 poison damage, Benedict.
Oh, rude.
Yeah, wasn't too nice.
Oh, look.
Wasn't too
You
nice.
don't look so.
And go ahead and I think yeah, go ahead and make a saving throw. I forgot to have you do that. Make a saving throw on that one.
D4.
Probably gonna
Constitution.
need it. Actually, that's not terrible. 10.
All right, so
Not
yeah,
either.
not enough. So yeah, you take the 2 poison.
Ow.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right, and Delphi, roll a perception check for me.
$14.
All right, so out of the corner of your eye, you see this giant fireball heading your way, and it gives you just enough time to hit the deck as this fireball goes soaring overhead, and you hear it crash into the ground behind you, impacting in the dirt. And you can feel the heat just kind of wash over you, but it's not enough to do any damage.
Getting hot.
A little bit. All right, and Alvisa's
Go
still
right
back
back
there.
there,
She's
Delphi.
making some pop shots
Yeah.
again, and takes out 1 more of those flesh reavers. All right. Meanwhile, this guy up here by Neymar is not having any luck either. And the one down by Zefno is still not. He drops his bow, pulls out a short sword, tries to attack with that, but he's still not having any luck. So the rolls are on your side tonight, Zefno. All right, Benedict, we are to you.
A lot of luck.
Is it worth it? Probably not.
For the players that are colorblind, Benedict is standing on a hill.
On a hill far away.
Or what's the,
That's technically water. That's the brackish water that he is
Okay.
standing in.
Great.
Yeah, you
water.
are in the
Okay.
swamp, and it is fairly marshy and nasty.
For the colorblind players, I can tell it's a different terrain, but I wasn't
Sorry,
exactly
I
sure.
forgot that you're colorblind there, Travis.
All right. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Travis, I'm not colorblind, and I thought it was a hill. So, so
No, it even
Anyway.
has some
Like
bodies
exotic
floating
never had
down
the
there. See,
experience.
it's got some bodies floating down there. There's no hills.
At least you never had the
Yeah,
experience
look at that.
ordering a bunch of Lego bricks the wrong color because you were colorblind off of the website. That was not my best out.
Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, I'm gonna firebolt this guy again because he
Do
will
it.
not go away.
Him.
So,
Darn him.
20, not natural.
No, do it.
10 damage. Oh wait, no, wrong dice. Sorry, hold please. That would have been really exciting. No, 2 damage, 2 fire damage.
Okay, yeah, he's
Much
still on
less
his feet.
exciting.
He takes another firebolt to the chest, but he seems to be all right. Seems to be all right. Delphi, we are to you.
All right. Delphi is going to move up to Benedict. I'm really walking into walking into it here for you, Benedict, and lay on
Hey,
hands
Delphi!
and cast Cure Wounds. For 1d8 plus 5. So 7 plus 5 would be 12 points back.
Hey, can I get some of that over here?
Thank you, milady. Although I might advise that you stay further back.
I see who the
Well, I'll have
favorite
to
is.
have physical touch. You
All right, Zevno, we are up to
cast
you.
upon you. I trust that you can protect me out here.
I see.
Touch the hem of Delphi's robe so I can be healed too.
Don't think it works like that.
Works.
It only works one time, and it's not for her.
Yep, yep.
I'll
Okay.
I'll see to you shortly, Zepno.
It's okay. I know who your favorite is. All right, we're gonna attack this guy.
All right.
He
Take
does
him
have
out.
very shiny armor.
He does. Hey, natural 20.
That's a good one.
And an 18. Hey, what? these rubber dice. I'm just loving them. They bounce the right numbers I need.
Okay. And how much? You got both attacks in there? Both of those should hit.
Let me roll attacks. 9 damage.
All right, so it is enough to take that archer out. Yeah, you stab him and just run your blade right through him, and he groans and slumps over. All right.
Gonna be
Meanwhile,
shooting anybody else? But yeah.
we've got Neymar up here going back to work. And he is going to hit. Oh, for a very decent 12 damage. And that's going to be enough to bring down the big fella right there. So he gives a kind of a chuckle and moves over towards the wizard as well, kind of surrounding him. So you will have flanking position next time, Benedict.
Is it me? Is it my turn?
Not yet. The wizard, he begins to cast another spell, shoots out another one of those glowing green rocks, but he misses this time. And we are back to you, Benedict.
Alright. I've had enough of him. We will firebolt him one more time. Hopefully get rid of him. Good grief, what is that? I can do math. 25.
25 will hit.
That's not a roll. 7 points of fire damage.
Oh, good. Good one. But he is not dead yet. Not
He is
quite yet.
annoying me. He's annoying me fiercely.
And Delphi. Oh, wait, are you going to move?
No, I'll let it be.
All right. So, Delphi, we are to you.
What's up now? How are you doing over there?
I like waving some blood squirts out. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound. As long as I don't get it on my bowler, I'm fine. The guy next to me is dead, right? The little red guy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you did wipe him out. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, in that case, then, Duffy will toll the dead the wizard here.
Okay. And what's the
so-
DC on that
Yeah,
again?
They told me that
Wisdom
the other.
spell.
I guess she took you at your word.
I hope you were serious.
Yep, and you are going to be able to toll him. Toll of the dead
Okay.
him.
And
Ring
now
the
I'll
bell.
know that she doesn't get sarcasm. So I got it. Duly noted.
She's an elf.
3.
What do you want?
3 damage?
Yeah.
Alright, still not quite.
Well, I
enough.
was just hoping that we can just take him out. So I've only got one trick left, but
Alright. Zephno, we are back up to you. Or did you need to move any, Delthy?
yeah, she's gonna back up. Like here.
Alright.
Zephno, I will not let you falter.
She just won't heal you yet, but she won't let you falter.
Me die.
I'm level 2!
Okay,
We didn't get a rest!
It's
Yeah, that
okay.
part hurt.
All
He's
these guys
fine.
attacking
He's
this
fine.
Fine.
I mean, he hasn't
Been
even had to
worse.
make one death save yet. He's fine.
Yeah.
I so far as of all the adventures I've been on with Daniel, I've never had a death save. So we'll see if that still sticks. I feel like I can get a sneak attack on this guy because he's occupied with these.
Yeah,
other two, so
he's
I'm gonna
quite
get in behind
occupied.
him and,
He is
go
quite
for the sneak
occupied.
attack.
And remember, you do have advantage on that attack roll.
Ooh, yeah, you're right. Okay, that's good because I rolled a 1 first. Okay, so
And you still get a D4.
19. Oh yeah. Well, 19.
Yeah, 19 is going to do it anyways. You get it.
And then, the off weapon was a 20. Plus
Yep,
the
that'll do.
D4, which I didn't roll. Okay, I'm going to
Go all roguey on him.
Rogie Bear.
Hey, boo-boo.
11 damage.
Alright, so you sneak up behind him and just go to work, and sure enough, that is enough to do the trick. And he falls away. But you're not out of the woods yet. You only thought you were. Because more troops are advancing from up above you.
Great.
No, so.
Well, guys, I cleaned that one up for you, so I'm going to let you guys take those other ones over the hill there.
Alright, so as these other troops kind of start advancing towards your position, Neymar, he is going to
Maybe use some
run
of those
forward.
explosives about now.
Use them all on the cannons.
But you made a big explosion, and in the end, isn't that what matters?
No, getting out of here alive is what matters.
But if you can die in a cool way. Okay, yeah,
Like Mars about there.
so he runs forward
Little light
in an attempt to attack
last very long.
the Vishnahari warrior in front of him, but he misses with the dreaded Skull Smasher of Helfenheim. Alright, and that's when the Vishnahari troops begin to advance. Another wizard
So I really
at the
feel
very
like,
back is going to cast a
I
spell
feel like Neymar's got this.
at Neymar. And he's going to take another firebolt directly in the chest. Sets his patchwork cloak to smoldering, but he's not having any of that. He's continuing on.
Like I said, he's got this.
He's fine. He's
And
fine.
His tiefling friend over there is like shooting guys.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be fine.
So, and speaking of Alvissa, about this time, she finishes up with the flesh reavers that she was working on, and she turns her attention on this wizard up here at the top. And she fires her rifle. And you see this blue-white streak of light just hit this wizard in the arm, and it seems like he was about to start casting another spell, but his magic seems to fizzle. And it looks like he gives this very confused look as he's dealing with that injury that he just got hit with. Alright.
I really do need one of those.
Well, it's not the rifle that's special.
Yeah,
Not the rifle that's special.
why aren't those standard for all troops?
You gotta have the dimness. The dimness. Alright, so the rest of the warriors, they seem to be pretty interested in Neymar there. But as they are approaching and taking their shots at him, he's dodging, he's bowling, he's weaving, he's not taking any damage. Benedict, we are to you.
I
Benny,
suppose there's no
Benny,
choice.
our man. If he can't do it, no one can.
2, 3.
Yeah. Go get him with
Benedict's going to position himself between
your armor.
the oncoming horde and Delphi, and then just firebolt the. Yeah, let's firebolt the wizard. I don't like him
Alright.
or his brother.
Well, his brother you
that'll
don't have
work.
to worry about anymore.
27.
Yeah, that's a good one. That'll work.
6 points of damage.
Very good. Yeah, so your firebolt hits that wizard.
And then I will
He's not too happy about it.
telekinetic shove this guy off of Neymar if we can.
Alright. Which one? The one right
This
about
guy
there?
Here.
Oh, that guy? Okay.
Yeah. Mr. I look different than the others.
Alright.
He looks important.
He does hit a little bit harder. He has the capability. Alright, and what was the DC on that
when
save?
you do these kinetic shoves, that's like
15.
something that your armor does, right?
That's the way I flavored it, yeah.
15, you said?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so he is not able to make that save. Which way are you going to push him?
I'll just push him straight away from me, diagonal northeast.
We'll just do like that. And as you kind of shove him out of the way, Neymar is going to see that as an opportunity. And he is going to take a shot. But he misses. You shoved him too fast. Too far and too fast.
It's too furious.
Alright, Delphi.
Delphi is at this point looking a little weary, but she will grasp the amulet around her neck and say, Kulain, Lord of Life, give me strength. And she will channel divinity,
Oh boy.
preserve life,
Bringing out the big guns.
to give 10 HP to Zephno. But she looks exhausted.
She's been through the ringer today. She's put in some work.
That's all she's got left.
Alright, any movements?
Now I'm
She
gonna
gave
stay
her
behind.
all.
I'm gonna
Alright.
stay behind Benedict.
Alright, so we've got a few more Vishnahari warriors here who are going to attack. And this one misses. And then the final one is going to advance towards Benedict there. And he is going to miss as well. So Zephno, we're back up to you.
I'm going. Can I make it up to this one that's fighting Neymar?
Let's see. That is about 30 feet. So yeah, you can make it to Neymar.
No, I go up that way. Alright, and so with him focused on Neymar, can I get a sneak attack on this guy?
Yep, you can indeed. And you do have advantage on those rolls.
Sweet mother of pearl. And am I still blessed? So I've got that going on for us too, right?
Yep.
18 for one, and 17 for the other. Hey, man.
All right, both of those will hit.
All right. Ten damage with my sneak attack.
All right, so you get a pretty good shot in there. He's still on his feet for the moment, but he's not looking too hot. Namor, kind of seeing that you are doing some pretty good damage.
It's such an honor to
He's
get to
going
fight with
to-
you, Neymar, folk hero, and of
He-
legend.
He is. He has many legends about him. A great many. Alright. He's going to turn his attention on this guy right here. And he just gives this mighty battle cry, and just with like a crack of a bat, he just waylays into this guy and just takes him out.
Nice hit.
All my hits are nice. Alright, so the wizard up top, he looks very confused. He's not used to his magic not being at his beck and call. But after he's spent, a little bit of time trying to figure things out, he's going to advance and just pull out a dagger and try and stab old Namor. And he's not having any luck, as you might imagine a wizard running into battle probably would have. Alright, but he is still getting surrounded over there. Oh, and finally, one of the big guys steps up and gets another hit in on Namor. And it looks like he's taking a pretty decent amount of wounds, old Namor. But he's still on his feet at the moment. And Alvissa as well. You hear her rifle ring out again. And she takes another shot at that wizard. Ooh, and this time she gets a good shot in on him. And that wizard looks like he's about had it. But he's still on his feet at the moment. And the last Vishnahari warrior there is going to take a stab at Zephno, who just attacked him, and he is going to miss. Benedict, we are to you.
All right, Benedict will pull a small arcane device out of one of the pouches on his belt, and just shout, "Zephno, catch!" And he'll chuck it, and you see this little blinking crystalline gadget fly across, and Benedict's not a very good toss, so it actually sticks to Zephno's hat instead.
He's got a
but if you
thermal
see this,
detonator.
you just see this vroom as it pulses, and I will cast Sanctuary on Zephno. And then I will firebolt the wizard again.
All right.
Should I worried? What's this stuck on me?
Don't worry about it; you'll be fine. I'll get it later. 17.
All right, that will hit.
6 more points of damage. It's my
And
magic number.
That's going to be enough. That is going to do it. Yeah, this time when you hit him with that firebolt,
Nice.
it's going to do him in. All right, Delphi. How you doing over there, Delphi?
Oh, she's doing okay. She's gonna toll the dead, that one that's right there north of Benedict.
All right.
So wisdom 12. Hopefully he's not feeling very smart.
No, these guys haven't been that smart tonight, but we will see. Oh, this one. This is the smart one. This was the wise one.
Well,
Rude.
Not all. You can't get them
Every
all.
crowd.
Can't get them all. All right, Benedict, make an acrobatics check.
Oh, that'll be terrible. All right.
you did a D4.
Oh, wait, I do get a D4. Oh, wait, it's not going to be terrible. 24.
All right, that is enough.
Could be
So
great.
the Vis warrior comes in with a sneaky underhanded stab, with a dagger, and you catch it just in time to kind of move out of your way, and he goes forward without catching your armor. And then he is going to swing around with his sword, but this time he's going to hit for 5 damage.
What do you roll?
23.
Oh, good grief.
I keep your AC on the file so that I know. All right, Zebno, you're up.
Right. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and sneak it. Neymar there.
All right.
Oh me. I'm sure a 7 does not hit.
A 7 does not. But remember, you do have advantage there with that flanking position.
Yeah, no, that was the highest I had.
Oh well.
Ouch.
Sad day.
That one's a 22, so that one hits.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Six damage. Wait, let me add my sneak in there. 7.
7 damage. All right. So you get a pretty good strike, but he is still on his feet at the moment. Neymar is going to come in,
Don't you die.
swinging the dreaded Skull Smasher. This time he's going to get a good attack in. Not quite enough to do the job, but the big guy in front of him does take a pretty serious wallop. To which he returns and is able to deal another blow to our buddy Neymar. Vissa is going to take a shot at this guy that you were just working on, Zefno. And she is going to hit, take him square in the chest, and he is eliminated. Benedict, you're up.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I will firebolt the guy engaged with Neymar.
All right.
Oh, that is not good. 12?
12 won't do it. Not on this guy.
Alright. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Delphi, we are to you.
Don't call me a one-trick pony. I will toll the dead, the same one.
All right.
But first you don't succeed.
You are
Try
not a
again.
one-trick pony.
You've done
Hey,
like
it's
two
worked.
whole
It's worked. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good so far. It's just this one guy who has stood up to it, but he is not this time. He was not
All right.
wise this time.
He has taken damage
He has.
previously, correct? Okay. Means I get a D12. And that's an 11.
All right. Yep, that will do the trick. So he gives one final cry, and he is down. Any other movement for you?
I'll just kind of shift over here to get line of sight on that guy.
All right.
Benedict, we should try to capture this guy, get some information out of him.
Well,
Right?
this isn't really a capturing moment. This is a pretty big battlefield, so I don't know if you'd have too much success there.
Stuff.
Yeah, this is the heat of battle. But Zephno, we are up to you.
Oh, man, back to me already. I'm gonna move around Neymar there and try to get to the guy behind him. He's the last
Alright.
one, right?
He
That's
is.
the last one I'm seeing.
That you can see. The battle seems to be kind of dying out. So yeah, he's the last guy in your general vicinity.
17 hit.
17 will do it.
Right. I'm going to slice and dice. Ow. 10 damage.
All right, so that is
Can I think? Can I think this guy, or is that enough?
well. That's enough to do it. I mean, if you certainly want to, like, overkill him, overkill.
So
It is an
I
option.
rolled a 5, so let's go ahead and add that in there. Let's
All right, might as well. Yeah, so you just decimated.
overkill kill.
Yeah, you get the overkill on him, and he falls to the ground. So there's a moment when the battle.
Down, Neymar.
What?
How many did you take down, Neymar?
I got at least 50. Definitely 50.
Yeah, I think I got
We weren't
51.
even 50 on the.
I'm not sure math is his strong suit.
No, it was definitely 50. I can tell you. Look, I counted them on all of my fingers and toes.
And you have 50 of those, do you?
Of course, don't you?
Oh,
We'll come back to that another time.
guy that would pay for something like that.
So,
This guy has something of a big head.
oh, he definitely has a big head. You are fairly certain on that. All right, so
Very
there's
large for his small halfling body.
And there's a moment when the fight seems to shift in your favor. The charge of the Spellbreakers is very effective. They cut into the horde of monsters. Alvissa, she's been firing on the common soldiers for a while now, so as the last of those Vishnahari warriors falls to the ground around you, you have a moment to catch your breath and to breathe. And you notice this tall rider, the one that you saw earlier, he breaks away from the main company and begins to ride over. And you notice him angling towards Alvissa, the tiefling woman that has been helping you so far. He's a tall man with an imposing presence. Even on his horse, it's easy to tell that he has the air of command about him. And as you watch, he rides over and comes over to Alvissa and says, "Alvissa, report." And Alvissa sets her weapon at rest and rises to salute. And she says, "Sir, the enemy I saw as we were scouting out the land that they have more fortified defenses deeper in the swamp. They will likely be waiting for us." And the rider gives a nod of confirmation and is about to turn away before Alvissa speaks up again. This time she says, "Sir, if I may, I would like to introduce you to the 3 soldiers whom I assisted in blowing up the cannons. These are Privates Benedict, Zephno, and I'm not certain about Delphinium. She's a special case, but she seems very capable, a very capable healer. But these are the soldiers. And soldiers, this is Brigadier General Offrin Tangrel of the Spellbreakers." And the Brigadier,
Sir?
he looks
Top
you
of the
over.
battle to you.
Yeah, so you give your salutes. The brigadier looks you over excessively. He has this piercing gaze that says he's seeing a lot more than he lets on. And as he kind of finishes looking you over, he says, "That was a handy piece of work out there, privates. Good job. The enemy is retreating deeper into the swamp, likely seeking to draw us in. You lot look like you've seen enough action for one day. Assist with the injured, get them back to the fort. My men will continue to pursue and push the Vis back as far as we can. Get some rest, soldiers. You've done well, and would be in line for a commendation if I had anything to say about it." And with that, he turns his steed and gallops off to rejoin his men. And Alvissa, she seems pretty happy, pleased with the way that things turned out. And she turns to you and says, "You will be all right getting back to the fort from here, yes?"
Yes, we know the way.
Excellent. I will send Neymar back with you. He's a bit crazy, but his heart is in the right place. And as she says this, Neymar, you can hear him cackling nearby, and he's like, "Ha! Look, their knuckles, they come right off in your hands. I can make a little necklace out of these." And Alvissa just grimaces, and she says, "Just make sure that you watch your coin purses around him. He has sticky fingers."
And apparently others.
And apparently others, yes, right. So Alvissa goes off to join the rest of the Spellbreakers as they pursue your foes further off into the swamp. And you take a look around at the battlefield, and you see that there are quite a few injured, quite a few people who are in need of assistance. Looks like the casualties were pretty staggering. But as you look around, you are kind of able to start organizing with some of the other survivors and start making your way back to Fort Lakefront for some much-needed rest. As you walk along, you notice that a mist has begun to rise from the swamp. And this mist is different from the one that you saw before. This one kind of shimmering with an eerie inner light. And it seems to rise and catch in the tangled branches of the mangroves, where it remains and looks like it sets the branches on fire with a ghostly energy. It's a little disquieting, to say the least, and you can hear some murmurs from those around you talking about the souls of the fallen being trapped in the branches. You make your way back to the fort, and the fort itself is built kind of into one of the rocky rises leading out of the swamp. And as you get near it, you're joined by stragglers of several other companies that face similar battles along the trench line. And you see that it's a line of mostly Delrish soldiers marching with you towards the fort. And off in the distance, you can see another line marching in the opposite direction. Reinforcements going to replace and reinforce those positions that you had just left. There's not much talking. Most everybody is keeping their heads down, either focused on their own injuries or the internal struggles that they have right now at having survived when so many of their comrades have fallen. And you eventually make your way back to the barracks. And it's here that the three of you with Neymar kind of separate from the crowd. He turns to you, and he's still looking like a tiny, excitable bundle of mad, chaotic energy, and he grins. And he says, "Hey, I'm gonna go see if I can find some grub or something. This place has to have a mess hall, right? You guys look like you could use some rest, though. Not me. I once stayed awake for 3 months straight. Sleepless, they call me. But I decided I had cooler nicknames anyways. So, you guys get some sleep, go get some rest. I'll catch up with you when you wake up." And he trots off, heading in the opposite direction of where you know the mess hall to be. Alright, so as you kind of gather around and, collect yourselves from this little excursion that you've had, you've got a little bit of time to yourself, and you can wander around the fort, or you can head back to your barracks to sleep. There's some places. The fort's not too big, but it does have a training ground. It's got, a blacksmith, infirmary. You could head to the mess hall if you wanted to get some grub, or you could head back to your bunks, try and get some rest. Obviously, y'all have been out there for quite a long time with the third watch hour being the latest of the watches, and now it being morning. So, what do you guys want to do? Any conversations you want to have, or any activities you want to get up to?
Is this isn't where I was from though, right? Because I was delivering a letter.
You are from a different company, but you are from the fort, so you aren't actually with Delphinium and Benedict's company. You would be in the same fort, just kind of separated from them in a different barracks.
Gotcha. Oh, Delphi! First time on the battlefield. What'd you think? Exciting as you thought it was going to be, I bet.
Exciting is hardly the word for it. Certainly
Yeah,
not
that
for
that was
the faint of
sarcasm
heart.
again.
You acquitted yourself well, Madam Delphinium.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you kept me alive. I mean, I've got a few scars, but I'm not dead, and I always appreciate that.
Scars are better than dead.
I suppose so. If you'll forgive me, I'm going to step away and visit the blacksmith.
I think I'm gonna go get something to eat. Maybe we'll run into each other again, huh?
Yes, I thank you for seeing me through the battle. I'm not sure I would have come through it without the two of you.
Well, with any luck, you won't be called onto the battlefield again anytime soon.
I,
Don't think I've
I
ever gotten a
certainly hope
compliment
not.
quite like that.
I've been sent here on a humanitarian mission, not one of combat, so prefer to stay in the camp and where I'm most useful.
And I suppose we'll have to find out who's still in charge of the camp at this point.
The camp does have a general, General Barnabas Fletcher, who would probably
Do we know,
still be in charge.
do we know if he's still alive?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. You see. You don't know yet.
Fair enough.
All right. So, Benedict, you are going to head to the blacksmith, are you not?
Yep.
All
Yep.
right, so you head out into the training yard, and the training yard, like I said, the fort's not too big. The training yard kind of functions as a general place to resupply, get your practice in. It's the place that has the blacksmith, and as you walk out there, it's a small little stand, and you see the blacksmith, Lemmy Halfhand, and he is banging away at the forge, and he looks up at you as you come up to him, and he says, "Yeah, what do you want?"
Hello. I'm Benedict P. Coldlight at your service. I'm well, what company am I with? Forgot.
The 54th Company.
At the 54th Company. Thank you. The what? No, I'm not with Microsoft.
Apple.
The 54th Company.
Apple Company.
I'm
Oh,
in the
hell.
process.
I heard about them. You just got off watch, didn't you? Messy business out there on the battlefield.
It's a bit messier than usual, in fact. However, that's not why I've come to see you. I'm working on a bit of a project. Some
A project? What kind of project you working on out here in the middle of a swamp?
Well, I'm something of a creator, as it were, and I'm working on a suit of specialized armor for disarming magical and explosive traps and the like. However, as you might imagine, the offerings out here are a bit sparse, and while I have the arcane components, I'm lacking a bit of a base frame. I could use a set of proper plate if you have any available.
Oh, yeah, I've got a plate. It costs you, though.
How much are we talking?
Plate doesn't come cheap out here in the swamp. It's a little bit different than regulation, so I'm afraid it would cost about 1,000 gold.
That's definitely a bit steep.
I told you it was a bit pricey.
Is there any sort of arrangement we might come to? Is there anything I could do for you?
I don't know about that. Nothing worth 1,000 gold out here. But maybe we could set up some type of work for me in the meantime. Hey, what are you good at using a forge?
Oh, handy enough.
All right. Well, how about this? I'll put you to work while you're off your watches, and maybe we could work out some type of deal where I take the cost of the labor out of the plate. You have to give me some time though to get it ready for you. Plates, like I said, it's hard to come by out here in the swamp.
That's fair enough. I need some time to prepare the other arcane components as well.
All right. Well, hey, you look like you've been through the ringer. Why don't you come back whenever you wake up, and I'll see what I can do about putting you to work.
Do that. And I'll head back to my bunk.
All right. So as you make your way back to your bunk, Benedict, you arrive and you notice that there are a couple of Teltrian officers moving around outside, and they seem to be removing some of the equipment that you have been using to work on your armor. And they seem to be very busy about the task.
Hold! Hold! Who are you? What are you doing?
I am Lieutenant Malcolm Douglas. What can I do for you, sir?
Some of my belongings you're messing with. What do you think you're doing?
Your belongings. We have been ordered to clear out space in the barracks for new recruits. We thought that this was junk. We didn't know anyone was using it.
Now, I assure you it is not junk, and if you you know what's best for you, you'll leave it alone. That could very well end up saving your life
Hey,
one
is that
day.
a threat? Surely you're
No!
not threatening a commanding officer.
Oh, heavens. No, I'm not threatening you, you lout. I'm suggesting that I'm working on something that could very well save every Teltrian soldier's life in this company.
Well, it looks like junk to me. What have you got here? What are you using it for? Probably not something
No,
regulation I'd want.
no, of course not. The regulation is made by the lowest bidder. I'm working on a piece of specialized armor. Unless you
Specialized
prefer,
armor. Well,
unless
what
you
type of
prefer
armor?
stepping on, unless you prefer stepping on a landmine out in the swamps on your own.
And what type of armor's gonna take care of landmines, anyways?
The magical kind that can detect them and defuse them before they go off.
Sounds like a bunch of wishful thinking to me.
And it
And
would to you because you're an uneducated Philistine.
I'll have you know that I went through command school and I graduated at least in the upper percentile of my class. And I don't appreciate a lowly private like you coming around and acting like he's all high and mighty. And Delphi, as you are kind of returning to your bunk as well, separate from Benedict's, but you see this kind of interaction here going on. Benedict, you notice him and recognize him, and he's talking to a Teltrian officer there, and it looks like they're having a little bit of a disagreement as you make your way nearby.
All right there, Benedict.
Oh, fine. I'm just educating a simpleton who's got more balls than
Look,
sense, apparently.
I don't like the way that you're talking to me. I am a lieutenant in the military, and look,
Is your rank
maybe if
purchased
you
by
could
your...
make it worth my while, I could find some space somewhere else. But until that time, we need the space for new recruits. I'm sorry. It's orders from high command.
Did you just request a bribe?
I
Look,
believe you
I didn't
did.
request anything. I just said that if you are willing to maybe make it worth my while, that I could look the other way just this once.
Defending, did you hear that? I'm pretty sure he just requested a bribe, and I think the general would be very keen to hear about
Oh,
that.
you're going to take it to the general, and who do you think he will believe? A lowly private or a Tiltrian lieutenant like me?
He might believe you, but wouldn't he believe an emissary from the elves?
An emissary from the elves. Look, just because you got pointy ears and eat leaves doesn't mean nothing around here. You're still in the soldier ranks just like all of us. I'd like to see you try and take this to the general.
Well, then we shall do just that. You ought to show a little more gracefulness towards Benedict here. He's
Well, at least respect for regulations.
a large
Heavens.
part of the reason why those cannons were disabled. Now we survived the battle to even be talking about making space in this fort.
What are you talking about with the cannons?
We blew them up.
You, you blew them. You blew up the Vishnari cannons.
Yes. Not particularly elegant, but it worked.
I mean, how would you even go about doing that? No, you just a
Because he
private.
knows what he's doing with this equipment.
I could explain it, but I'm sure your level of schooling would find it beneath you.
Benedict, don't poke the bear.
What? I gave him a compliment.
Look, okay. Look, this is all getting out of hand. Look, I could try and see if I can maybe clear this with a supervisor, one of the higher-ranking officers. But we're gonna have to find some space somewhere. And if you're not going to be accommodating here, then this might very well become a problem.
I don't care where it goes, so long as I have room to work. If it's a problem here, that's fine. Just tell me where you would prefer it be.
All right. Well, listen. I'll have the men take it out of the bunks for now, and let's say we'll
Be
stash it.
careful, that's
We'll take care. Look, they're talented men. They'll be able to box it up and ship it all for you real nice somewhere. Maybe. Look, where are you from? We could ship it back home for you where you're not around.
No, I need it to work here. Besides, no one cares about it back in the capital.
Look, maybe we could find some space down in the cellar somewhere. How about that?
It'll be fine, thank you. Most magnanimous of you.
Look, why are you using all those fancy words? You don't have to do that. Just look, we'll make sure that it's okay, and you can go down and check it out later. How about that?
Lovely.
All right. So he gives the signal to the people that are working with him, and they continue on the work. They box up the equipment. Probably not the nicest that you would want, but they begin to box it up and carry it off. And you do know that there is a cellar to the fort where you can probably find it later if you so desire.
Fair enough.
All right. So are y'all going to head on in for the night to your separate bunks?
Yeah. Benedict's going to
Did
spend
you have
some time
anything that you wanted to
tinkering.
do, Delphi?
Delphi is, yeah, she's going to head back to her bunk to get a rest, but along the way, she's going to find some writing utensils and paper
All
to
right.
pen a letter.
Fair enough. Which that should be easy enough to find. All right.
Writing.
Pen pals. You know, she's got pen pals. All right, Zifno. As you walk off to the mess hall to try and get some grub, you don't see Neymar anywhere around, but you do see some other soldiers standing around eating as you're going through line, picking out your food. And you do, you start to hear some people talking. A lot of it is centered around those eerie lights and kind of what they may mean. Nobody's really for certain. Nobody's seen anything like it before, but everybody seems pretty concerned about it. You do pass by as you are grabbing a seat. You do pass by another soldier who is reading a book. Seems to be sitting off by himself, and he's got this book propped up and he's reading it. And you notice the title is The Trials of Ashihara Galen. And this person would have been familiar to you. Ashihara Galen is a legendary hero of sorts, probably the most well-known hero. You might associate her with a King Arthur type character. And you recognize this one particularly, this book, because you were in a play about the trials of Ashihara Galen and about her bringing an end to the Age of Darkness.
Ashihara?
Ashihara Galen. Ashihara.
Ashihara Galen.
Yep.
Okay. He's just sitting by himself.
He seems to be. And as you walk
I'm
by, he
gonna.
kind of glances up. And he gives you kind of a sideways glance for a moment. Like he may recognize you, but he doesn't really say anything.
Hello, friend. Seat next to you taken?
No, you could stay here. Oh, what can I do for you? You look familiar, by the
Oh,
way.
just looking for a place to eat. Noticed what you were reading.
Oh yeah,
Happened to
excellent book,
be.
excellent book.
It is. Excellent theater production too. Did you ever get to watch it by any chance?
Wait, no, that's it. You were in that play. The one about Ashihara. You were in that play. Oh, what was it called? And he snaps his finger a few times. He says, "Calamity's Inn. Yes, that's the one. You played the role of Kamar Odori, the king of thieves."
Guilty as charged.
And he gives a
It's always
sigh.
nice to meet someone who appreciates the theater.
He's
Yeah,
found his
as
adoring
you agree with that, he gives a sigh and he says, "Oh, I hated that role." And in the play, you remember that Kamar Odari was the one that betrayed Ashihara Galen, and he's commonly thought to have gone on to father the Vishnahari people, who you have been fighting the last couple of years. And the guy just seems to shake his head. He says, "He did a good job with it in any case. I suppose I can't complain. At least they let someone from Delrin play the role. Normally all the leading roles get reserved for the Teltrian actors. It was good to see you rising above the rest, especially with all the rumors circulating around right now."
It was a challenge. Rumors, you say?
Yeah, you haven't heard.
I've been a little busy delivering letters, getting rid of spell cannons, all of the like. I haven't heard. What's afoot?
And he leans close to him and he says, "Well, the word is that that Teltrian princess, Princess Andorra, the one that we've been fighting over to try and get her back. Well, the
Yeah.
word is that she got tired of a Vishnahari prince and she came running back to Daddy." And one of the other soldiers nearby hears this and he says, "No way, you're daft, man. There's no way that she came back after all the hard times we've been through." And he says, "Look, I'm just telling you what I heard. The rumor is that the war's going to be over soon."
Really?
And as this is all going on, some of the other soldiers are just kind of laughing about it. And he said, "After all the lives we've lost, there's no way. It can't come to an end like this. What have we been fighting for out here? For this princess to come running back without any type of real ending to this war we've been fighting." So there seems to be some dissent whether this rumor is true or not. And the general consensus is that the Delrish soldiers aren't looking too happily on the news that she's just going to up and return and that all of it's going to be over with no more preamble.
Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we?
I guess
Can't
you
say
will.
that I wouldn't be. I mean, I can't say that I wouldn't be happy about war ending, theater productions going on, us not being on the battlefield, possibly dying regularly.
That is a benefit. I'll give you that. Hey, listen, it was really nice catching up with you. Maybe after we get out of here, once you get back to acting, I'd like to come to another one of your shows. The guy who was reading the book says.
Well, I would appreciate that. Maybe we should stay in touch. I'll get you front row seats.
"I'd love that. I love coming to the theater. That would be great."
So nice to find a true theater lover here in the midst of all of this mess. There's just
I
so
just hope we
few
get
of
out
us.
of here. That's all I hope.
As do I. Well, it was good talking to you.
Hey,
Maybe
you
I'll see you
too.
around. Gonna turn in for the night.
All right, so yeah, you grab your food, finish up your meal, and head back in for the night. So as you guys, catch a rest, y'all are able to catch a long rest and get all of your healing in and your spells back, all that good stuff. When you rise, there's still you walk out and there's still a lot of chatter going on about those strange ghost lights that you saw in the swamp when you were leaving. Again, not really nobody's really seen this before. They don't really know what to think about it, but seems like the general consensus is that most people are either believing it's a byproduct of that necromancy that brought about the flesh reavers, or it's the trapped souls, like we were saying, of those who fell in the battle. And in either case, it's not really a good thing, and it kind of casts a shadow over uh, over your morning preparations there. So while you had your separate places to go to, you do eventually kind of make your way around the fort and do kind of get to where you can interact with each other. You see yourselves walking around the training grounds and you notice each other. Again, you don't really notice Neymar anywhere around, but while you didn't arrive together, you do come out into the training grounds and do recognize each other's presence. And eventually, you'll all kind of come into contact with each other.
Can we
And
try to
let's
can we
see.
try to just not run into Neymar?
You could
Can
try.
we, like, do this number?
You could try. So, Delphi, at some point while you're walking around, you reach into your pocket and you notice that there is a letter that has somehow been stuffed into your pocket at some point. And as you take it out, you notice that it is a letter that is wrapped in a leaf, and it's sealed with this kind of translucent clear wax that sparkles in the light. And the symbol that is sealing the letter is an elvish crystal wood pine tree. And yeah, you can kind of do with that what you will. But yeah, y'all all kind of get out into the training yard, and you've got the news about the ghostly lights that have been kind of rumored. And Zephno, you have some news there. So what are you guys going to do as you start off your day here?
Top of the morning to ya, Lady Delphi. Benedict.
Morning, Zephno.
How'd you sleep?
Fitfully.
Heard any good rumors lately? Because I have. Hear the
What have you
princess is
heard?
just gonna come. Just hear the princess is just gonna come on back. All this fighting for nothing. Just gonna come back to daddy.
Surely you're joking.
Hey, just what I heard at dinner last night. Not to mention all the talk about these lights. Souls being trapped, or maybe some kind of magic residue left over from those big monster golem
I'm
gross things.
sure that's just superstitious nonsense.
What do you make of the lights as Delphi folds her letter and puts it back in her pocket?
I'm not really sure. Are they still around? Do we still see them, or are they dissipated by now?
No, they're still around. Yeah, it seems like the phenomenon has not ceased. And as you look out over the swamp, there is still that eerie. It's a ghostly glow, a white shimmering light that's out there in the swamp, and it seems to have caught in just about all the trees. And again, it just gives you an uneasy feeling.
Just
Never
a
seen
moment.
anything
I
quite
want to
like that.
take a look at this for a moment, and I'll cast detect magic and try to get as close to one of them as I can.
All right, so as you walk out a little bit and take a look at one of these trees, again, the tree looks like a fairly normal mangrove tree that you would find in the swamp. Very twisted, it's got moss growing all over it. Not many leaves per se, but it doesn't look like the tree is being burned up at all by this ghostly light that's in its branches. As you get close and you cast your spell, you can tell that there's definitely a magical aura around in the tree branches, seeming to emanate from around this glowing light. And it looks like that this seems to be some type of illusionary magic.
Hmm.
Did I get any indication as to a source?
No, it just seems to be coming from the branches themselves.
Sure. Okay.
And this is everywhere?
It seems to have caught in just about all the trees that you look around. There are a few that do not have it, but by and large, the greater number seem to be affected by this.
Is there anything,
Weird,
since
huh?
elves are so, tightly bound, like trees are such a large part of their culture? Is there any sort of phenomenon that Delphi might have known about?
Roll. Are you skilled in Arcana?
Uh, uh, I don't have proficiency, but I have +3 intelligence.
Yeah. You aren't really able to tell anything, at least in your experience, that would have been happening with these trees. Again, this is something that you you aren't familiar with. Nobody's really seen anything like this, but just gives you kind of an uneasy feeling. Doesn't really improve the environment of the swamp.
I think it's fairly safe to say we can dismiss the souls notion, but as to where that's coming from, I'm not sure.
Hmm. Strange. Never seen anything like it. Actually, I'm a
Does make
fan of
one
being
feel
under the lights,
uneasy.
but these are a little bit freaky.
I kind of like them. Not sure why exactly.
All right, so as y'all are
Often that
all
light makes one feel dimmer.
So as y'all are all kind of sitting around talking about this, you notice that the doors to the outside or the inside of the fort come open, and you see stepping out of them four Teltrian provost guards, and these are the kind of the military police, I would guess you say, of the fort. They generally just make sure that you're following military law and kind of report as guards to higher ranking officers. And as they walk out, one of them looks around. He seems to notice you, and he says something to the others, and then he walks over and approaches. And as he reaches your position, he says, Privates Zephno, Benedict, and Lady Delphinium of the Elves, I presume.
Depending on who's
Yeah.
asking.
I am Colonel Joseph Combs.
Do we
Colonel
know that name?
Combs.
You do not. You do not.
You have us at something of a disadvantage. I'm afraid I'm not familiar with you. Can I help you?
Well, yes, I have been sent by General Fletcher to retrieve you for a debriefing in his command room ASAP. Are you attending to anything at the moment that you need to have done with?
Sadly, no.
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
Well,
yeah,
your
with Delphi.
your breakfast can wait. This is a command from the general himself that he would like to see you.
Getting a little tired of Teltrian demands.
Maybe we
hopefully it
go and
won't
get the
last
breakfast
long.
to go, and we take it up there with us.
That would probably be out of order, sir.
Come on, Zeph, now let's get it over with.
Want to be in order.
It's very
Alright.
important.
All right, so y'all decide to go with them.
Yeah.
All right, so you leave what you're doing there. The guards, they don't seem to hustle you or anything. They just, kind of walk beside you, leading you on through the fort up to the second level and into the war room, as it were. There's several high-ranking Teltrian officers, along with some stenographers and some tacticians, moving around and talking in this area. There is a large table in the center of the room, and on it is a map of Salarishi March. You can see trench lines drawn out and indicators of like troop numbers and movements, that kind of thing. If you will, go ahead and roll me a perception check, everybody.
13.
Also a 13.
Popular number.
On 13. Come on, 13. Natural one.
Okay, so
Oh,
not the most
no.
perceptive, poor Zephno. So you're
That knows what it's
What? Did I
about
miss
that
something?
breakfast.
Did I miss something? Did something
yeah,
happen?
you're just distracted by the fancy table there. So you're led back through a set of large double doors, which are open for you, and as you go inside, they're closed behind you. And it's that point that several of the guards move off and take positions around the room. There is a large wooden desk in the center of this room, and behind it is sitting the figure of General Barnabas Fletcher, the commander of Fort Lakefront. And you see him there sitting behind his desk. He's reading over some papers. He's a balding man dressed in the blue and white of Teltree. He has a full beard, which seems to be expertly groomed, and he's wearing a tiny pair of spectacles. And he's just sitting there reading over something at his desk. He doesn't really seem to notice you as you come in. The guard that you spoke to earlier, he moves forward and he whispers something in the general's ear and then moves off into further into the room to join kind of the rest of the guards there. And the general, he still doesn't really give any indication that he has noticed you, leaving you just to stand there awkwardly while he reads.
Did you have need of us, General? As thrilling as it is, watching you read.
So as you speak up, he glances over the rim of his glasses and he says, "I don't remember giving you leave to speak, Private." And he glances up from his work, seeming to regard you coolly. And for a long moment, he kind of just looks at you over the rim of his glasses and then goes back to something on his desk. And then he says, "Zephno Thespionage, Benedict Coldlight, and Delphinium Willowbloom, you are the soldiers that crossed into enemy lines and proceeded to blow up the Vishnahari artillery bunkers, correct?"
Correct.
Correct.
I would have successfully blew them up.
I
That's correct.
see. I suppose you
On the
consider
orders-
yourselves quite brave for this act.
Not in the least.
No.
In fact, it was done
We
on
were
the orders of the
compatible.
rather cowardly Lieutenant Farrell.
Lieutenant Farrell ordered you to blow up the bunkers, is it?
He ordered us.
over
He
the
ordered us
wall.
over there. Yes.
I see. So who did order you to destroy the cannons?
Call it
No.
initiative.
Initiative. I see.
Call it fate. Call it luck. We got the job done.
So it's my understanding that you disobeyed your commanding officer and acted in a reckless manner that could have had unforeseen consequences.
That's one interpretation. However, at the time, your fort was being shelled into oblivion, so it seemed like the prudent choice.
That
I
is
believe the
not the
correct thing
report
that you
that
want to say
I've
is
seen.
thank you. Thank you. I think that's what you're looking for.
Unfortunately, you will be receiving no thanks from me, Private. You have done untold damages here that you are not aware of.
Would you care to expound upon that statement?
The war, as we know it, is coming to an end, Private. Princess Andorra mysteriously returned back to her home, and likely the news of the hostilities that they were to be ended had not yet made it out to the forces in the swamp. But in destroying the enemy fortifications when talks for peace were already underway, you have caused our chances at putting this conflict to rest to be put in jeopardy. Not to mention that your reckless actions led to a great loss of life in the ensuing battle. Because of your distraction, you emboldened your comrades to charge recklessly across the swamps and fall directly into a Vishnahari trap.
I don't recall ordering them to do any such thing,
None.
but
Yeah, I don't
I
remember that.
believe the blame falls squarely onto your commanding officers.
I should also point out that we weren't the only ones there. There were spellbreakers in those trenches, and they had every intention of blowing the cannons up the same as we did.
Yes, the
That they did.
Spellbreakers. And he gives a snarl, just kind of this grimace of his face as you mention them. I will deal with them separately. Unfortunately, you will be court-martialed. You will be tried by military tribunal because of your actions, and they will determine your guilt in this matter. If you're lucky, they will find you innocent, and you will be restored to your positions. However, considering your lack of your show of disregard and not following the orders of your commander, it does not reflect highly on you. Lady Definium, and he turns to you, Delphi, and he says, though you are not an official member of the Totrian military, your actions have reflected poorly on the elven people. And while you will not be put on trial with your comrades, you will be sent back to your people in disgrace. And as you kind of take all this in, he gives a nod back to the guards. Guards, take them to the brig for the time being. Keep them under lock until the time of their trial. And as he says that, the guards step forward, and they seem to be ready to take you into custody. All right. Any other actions while all this is going on?
Just one when they do put us in the brig. But
You'll
I'll
regret
wait.
this, Barney.
Old Barney Fletcher.
Barney Fletcher.
All right. So, what were you had in store for them, Benedict?
When they put us in the brig, after they turn to go, I will cast Mage Hand, which I can do invisibly and silently, and I will try to lift the key off the guard who is retreating.
All right. Strangely, you do not find the set of keys on that guard that you were trying
What?
to lift them off of. Yep.
Worst guards ever.
Yep. All right, and that is where we will end for tonight. I think we've done about enough damage that we can do. So now our heroes are locked away in the brig, and we will continue their adventure next time. All right. Does anybody have any closing comments before we head out? All right. Well, again, like and subscribe if you like what we're doing. As always, we'd love to hear from you if you got any comments. But we will pick up again next time and see the fate of our adventurers. Until then, have a nice night.